A champion's career arc under ideal circumstances goes something like this. Prospect turned phenom, turned challenger, turned that dude with the belts around his waist. But for some boxers, the elite among the elites, there's an even higher level that most champions never reach.
Look at them, man, yo, yeah. They don't understand, man. God damn. This did just happen overnight.
You invested over 20 years.
Yeah, over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Santa Cruz out here today.
On my own.
Let it burn, baby, let it burn. Oh. Mind over matter, son, mind over matter.
This is the blues on.
Ain't nobody doing no shit like this. Come in the desert. Trying to stay away from the desert. He come in the desert.
Coming up here, I was always that kid that know when the time to buckle down and things like that. Like I know when it's time to get serious. I know how to focus, no matter what's going on around me. That's what made me so special and why I came so far.
Long before the spotlight comes back and well ahead of fight night, boxing reveals its most important moment. It's not the headlines or the hype. It's the unseen work that rarely gets recognition. And right now, that quiet, demanding phase belongs to Gervonta Davis.
Chop. Good work. Oh, good rim. I like the way y'all jump right back in it. That's right. Make them jokers move. Oh, I love what I hear. Y'all making them sing.
For most of Davis's celebrated career, Ford and other trusted advisors remained in control. But now, those in camp can sense a shift in command.
Make them jokers move.
As the fighter himself begins to oversee everything, while aiming at the destiny he alone must fulfill.
There you go. I go there. Give it up to him, y'all.
For quite a while, supporters have been anticipating Tank's return, wondering when that intensity, excitement, and raw power would show up again. Now, it appears that moment is getting closer. Back in training and working once again under the guidance of Calvin Ford, he's carrying himself with a noticeably different mindset. It's not about showmanship. It's about precision, discipline, and intent. There's a clear distinction between staying active and preparing to make a statement. And right now, it looks like he's getting ready to reintroduce himself to everyone.
I'm definitely taking this very seriously, but as I continue to get close to the fight, I'm just being myself. I feel good, you know what I mean? So, it's like it's definitely going to be a exciting night for the sport of boxing.
When you ready?
Yes. Make sure no recording. No recording. No recording, gentlemen. Thank you.
The mega fight, that dance with destiny, is nearly at hand. And with both superstars in the fine-tuning stage, secrecy is crucial. That's why Davis made sparring the most important element of any camp, off limits to cameras. But his team's visible confidence hints at his readiness.
Hey, you having fun, ain't you?
When it comes to Gervonta "Tank" Davis, each crushing left hand seems to solve one mystery while creating several more. At this stage, the questions have only grown, clear on the surface, yet layered with uncertainty. What defines enough? Where is the limit? And just how far can he truly go?
You're happy, but deep down inside it's more to accomplish. That's how I feel as a fighter. Our job is never done. I want it all.
This feels like a refined version of him. His movements appear more controlled, the execution is sharper, and the drive seems stronger than what the cameras capture. If Shakur Stevenson is truly the intended opponent, that level of focus is understandable. He isn't someone you overcome with moments alone. His style is precise, composed, elusive, and mentally draining to deal with. That means Tank needs more than just strength. He must rely on discipline, endurance, timing, and ring control. That's where Calvin Ford's role stands out once again. In this situation, he represents more than coaching. He provides direction, stability, and the kind of presence that can shape potential into performance.
I ain't gonna lie, Coach. One of them got to be Shakur, because that's the one that's a 50-50 fight. I feel like that's the only one that's
let me
like,
explain something
y'all,
to you.
those are two guard-level fighters.
Let me explain something. Shakur is a master boxer.
Yes.
True indeed. I know the kid, he was raised up with us, but he's a kid to us. You understand what I'm saying? But he's gonna get his just due.
Yeah.
He just have to focus on his just.
As the pressure builds, having that kind of support becomes essential. It appears the entire team is backing Tank, guiding him forward and ensuring this return is genuine rather than just online hype. That should put the division on alert, because even when he's only partially in rhythm and relying on instinct, he's already shown what he's capable of. A more refined and driven version of him is something else entirely. If this mindset carries into a potential fight with Shakur, it won't simply be a comeback. It will signal a complete shift. And often, the most dangerous fighter is the one who believes there's still something left to prove.
So, I'm vlogging another day, in the life. Yeah, my guy.
Can I get a real pic with you?
Yes, come on.
Let me take this off real quick.
I'm vlogging right now.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
You vlogging?
Yep, you vlogging, champ.
Yeah, thank you
That's
so
a
much.
nice
You wanna
chill.
get a picture?
We about to see how it is.
Thank you so much.
I just out here vlogging. Thank you, dude.
Right as the focus shifts to Gervonta Davis, putting in the work to rebuild himself, Shakur Stevenson enters the picture with the mindset of someone already envisioning the matchup. What stands out isn't emotion, it's conviction. He brushes past the noise and speaks as if the bout is already set. There's no need for loud talk or theatrics, just the calm assurance of someone who believes it's inevitable. He also acknowledges Tank's abilities, which is significant. He describes him as calculated and seasoned, a fighter who creates openings, lets opponents expend energy, and takes advantage when the moment is right.
Gervonta Davis, is it just boxing beef or is it real beef? and if so, where did it originate from? I know it's a longer story, but just,
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you can share.
it's kind of bigger than boxing, I guess you could say, because of like the history and like everything that done like went on. It's hard to even speak on it just because of the fact that we gotta fight. So at the end of the day,
You feel that's gonna happen?
yeah, I know it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm the best, he the best. So when you got two guys that's the best, how can you not fight? Only way you could not fight if one of them guys ain't like that and somebody go off to lose or somebody take an L.
That level of honesty stands out because fighters lacking confidence often dismiss what their opponents bring. Shakur takes a different approach. He recognizes the risk while still sounding certain in his own ability, which shows this isn't about personal tension. It's about pure competition. When he describes both of them as top-level fighters, it adds context. Too often, bold claims are made without facing real challenges. But in this case, both understand that reputations are shaped when elite opponents collide. Then there's the subtle shift in tone. Saying the fight can happen whenever Tank is ready may sound respectful, but it also carries a quiet sense of urgency. It's essentially a message that he's prepared. With no conditions, just set the date. It's a calculated way to issue a challenge without making it obvious, yet the message is clear. And from a stylistic standpoint, it's easy to see why this matchup draws so much attention.
I think like with both of us, we both fighters that's really good fighters and on that level.
From a boxing standpoint, what makes Tank Tank? We see the power, but it's gotta be more than that.
Nah, he's strategic. He's setting guys up. He been boxing since a little kid, just like I've been boxing since a little kid. And you can tell like with the experience. Even with his last fight with Frank Martin, you can see Frank Martin was more so an amateur. Like the experience he got is not on the level of like Tank. And he just took off with experience. He let him waste his energy, gassed him out. And then round 8, okay, it's time to go.
Tank operates with patience, setting things up and capitalizing at the right moment, while Shakur focuses on defense, solving everything placed in front of him. One waits for errors, the other works to avoid them entirely, creating a tense dynamic for viewers. Shakur's calm delivery shouldn't be mistaken for a lack of belief. It reflects the quiet confidence often seen in elite fighters, assurance that doesn't need to be loud to be clear. On the other side, Tank brings a level of power capable of changing everything instantly. That contrast builds a compelling sense of anticipation. At this point, one fighter is refining his craft away from the spotlight, while the other is openly stating that a meeting between them is bound to happen. It sets the stage clearly. Right now, the sport doesn't need uncertainty. It needs commitment. If both are truly at their peak, as Shakur suggests, then it's time to make it official. Some matchups stay as speculation. This one already carries the feeling of something that needs to happen.
Would you like to see that fight happen?
Whenever. I think that I'm ready for it. He ready for it. We both in our primes. It can happen next. It can happen next year. It can happen whenever he say, let's fight. That's when it's going.
Just as Shakur Stevenson seemed settled, calmly waiting for things to unfold, Richardson Hitchens steps in with a perspective that carries weight because he has first-hand experience with both fighters. That detail shifts the conversation. It's one thing to debate from the outside, but when someone says they've shared the same space with each of them, it adds a different level of credibility. Hitchens describes a potential matchup between Gervonta Davis and Shakur as one of the biggest fights on the horizon in boxing. It's a strong statement, but not an unreasonable one. One fighter offers explosive appeal, while the other brings a high-level technical puzzle. Together, it creates natural interest. He even suggests it could surpass the scale of a bout like Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr., which might surprise some listeners. Still, the reasoning is there. Both are younger, undefeated, stylistically different, and already fueling constant discussion among fans. What stood out most was his breakdown of their abilities. He views Tank as a powerful yet skilled puncher, while describing Shakur as a rare talent, using his reach and control to dictate the fight.
Tank have that equalizer where it might end in 6, and Shakur got longer arms and reach, and he might just beat you up from a distance to 12 rounds. Like, that's really the only difference. They both have like disadvantages and advantages, like, you know what I'm saying? But Tank power is just like generational type power. So, and Shakur skills is generational skills. So it's like I said, it's a fight. I always tell both of them, like, that's the only fight I want to see. They both get mad at me. They be like, yo, I'm gonna knock that when I fight him. Shakur, I promise you I'm gonna beat him easy. Like,
that's a well-balanced breakdown. A lot of people simplify Tank to his power shots and label Shakur as purely defensive, but that misses the full picture. Hitchens makes it clear they're both complete fighters, just with very different strengths. Tank carries the ability to end things suddenly, while Shakur controls the pace and direction over the course of a fight. One can change everything in a moment, the other can dictate every round. He even describes it as too close to call, which explains the level of interest. If the outcome felt obvious, it wouldn't generate this kind of attention. He also brings up Boots and Bud, hinting at how fighters themselves evaluate talent differently than fans. They can distinguish between what looks impressive and what presents real danger. The same idea applies here. The anticipation around Tank versus Shakur isn't driven by online talk. It comes from the uncertainty among those who truly understand the sport. That hesitation is what makes it compelling. At this stage, Shakur is openly ready. Tank is putting in the work behind the scenes, and Hitchens is essentially saying it's the matchup he'd personally want to see. The message is clear. It's time to make it happen.
I mean, why? You've been in the room with both of them. Yeah, Shakur and Tank is gonna be the biggest fight in boxing in like the near future. Like, it's gonna be like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, but bigger, like way bigger. I feel like that's gonna be the biggest fight in boxing. I've been saying that since Gervonta for like his first main event in Baltimore, and then Shakur for like his first main event in North. I've been like, when I heard that like Shakur's going up to like 30, I already knew. I'm like, that's like gonna be the mega fight. Like, that's the only fight I would want to see like in this like generation right now. That's like one of the biggest fights like I would want to see. That's the fight I'd be like.
Just as Richardson Hitchens had the conversation leaning toward Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson being almost a 50-50 split full of excitement, Fennon comes in with a completely different angle, as if he's rearranging the entire board and calling the outcome already decided. That contrast is exactly what keeps boxing debates so alive. And to be fair, one central idea he brings up does carry weight beneath all the noise. If Shakur Stevenson wants undisputed recognition at these weight classes, then defeating Tank Davis is the most straightforward path. No need for long arguments, no panels breaking it down for weeks, no endless discussions online. Beating the fighter who sits at the center of the division immediately shifts perception. That's simply how the sport operates. At the same time, it's a bit of an oversimplification to suggest Tank is the only gateway to that level of status. Boxing history rarely works through a single route. Still, there's no denying that this is the most impactful and high-profile option available. From there, the conversation expands into the less visible side of boxing: promotional influence, managerial decisions, business interests, network control, and all the behind-the-scenes pathways that determine what fights actually get made. And while not every theory needs to be taken at face value, one point stands firm: skill alone doesn't finalize big fights. It's leverage, business alignment, and promotional power that ultimately decide what gets signed.
First of all, let me tell you what checkmate means for me with Shakur. Gervonta. And that's it. The only way he wins the game and gets the king in check is if he's playing with the king. And the king in the weight classes that he is in is named Gervonta Davis. And there's no way around doing that. And the only way that Shakur Stevenson is going to be considered the king and the best in those divisions, especially as an American fighter in the age group and the people that he's with, is if he fights and beats Gervonta Davis.
Timing plays a major role, and ego can disrupt everything behind the scenes. In boxing, sometimes the most difficult shot to land isn't in the ring. It's getting both sides to agree on the paperwork. Fennon also points out that Tank has the ability to operate differently because he already has strong fan support behind him, and that observation is valid. Gervonta Davis holds leverage in terms of popularity and flexibility in choosing opponents. Shakur Stevenson, on the other hand, carries the pressure of turning elite skill into undeniable business value. That difference is sharper than it might appear at first glance. One fighter can pick and choose opportunities, while the other may need a specific matchup to fully elevate his position. However, it's important not to underestimate Shakur's side of the equation. Elite ability carries across any stage, and a victory over Tank would instantly elevate his status, opening doors and amplifying his voice in the sport. At the same time, if Tank comes out on top, he adds another highly skilled opponent to his resume and further strengthens his legacy. That dual outcome is exactly what keeps this matchup so compelling. Both fighters stand to gain something significant. And ironically, boxing is always described as a game of strategy until the actual fight gets close. Once reality sets in, all the planning tends to lose its importance. So instead of hints and coded messages, fans are past that stage now. The only thing that matters is making it official and letting the matchup finally take shape.
My thing is, yeah, Shakur, let's talk about chess moves. That's fine. But you're never going to be a king if you don't beat Gervonta Davis. It's just not going to happen. And to be honest with you, you may not be a king even if you do beat Gervonta Davis, because that's not how it works either. You really have to have the love of the boxing fans and the affection of the people around in the sport for you really to be that type of guy, for you to consider yourself to be the king. I mean, I wonder whether or not you got even Shakur could come back after a loss. You know what I mean? Like, you're not a king in the sport of boxing if you can't come back from one loss.
So what does all of this point to? It brings us directly into the type of scenario boxing often promises, but doesn't always deliver. Gervonta Davis is back inside the gym, appearing more refined, more locked in, and training with the mindset of someone who understands this stage of his career demands a different level. Alongside him, Calvin Ford returns to his corner, adding structure, discipline, and the steady leadership that has always helped guide Tank when pressure increases. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson presents himself with complete composure, speaking and carrying himself like someone who believes this fight is already written and only waiting for a date to confirm it. Add in voices like Richardson Hitchens describing the matchup as almost even, and it becomes clear this isn't manufactured talk. It carries genuine competitive weight. On one side is a fighter with fight-ending capability. On the other is a fighter built on precision and control. One opening could shift everything, while a full 12 rounds could redefine an entire division. That contrast is exactly why the interest is so strong. It's not just strength against skill. It's presence against precision, commercial impact against technical mastery. It's the kind of matchup that answers long-standing debates fans have been arguing about for years. And if boxing doesn't move to make it happen, then it risks once again missing one of its biggest moments.
And that's when it's checkmate. No time before that, Shakur, will it be checkmate. That's when you got the world on blast. You got it on lock when you beat him. So, if he ain't talking about that, then what else you gonna be talking about? Because next move, I already know what the next move is. First of all, let's talk about the fact that he has to say that he has a next move. That tells you something right there. As I've been telling you guys, and I maintain that I'm correct, that Turki Al-Sheikh and these guys do not have the money anymore to back these fighters.
Now, I want your take on this. If this fight actually lands at 140, who comes out on top? Tank with his explosive power, or Shakur with his technical control? Does the renewed energy in Tank's return shift the balance? Or does Shakur's discipline and structure take over the fight's rhythm? Let your opinion be known in the comments so we can break it down properly together. And before you go, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. Until the next breakdown.